What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. It's your man Jay. So today we are back with a real quick video, and in this one today I want to talk a little bit about the Sony ZV1 as well as give you this demonstration of the Sony ZV1 in a studio slash main talking head camera situation, because I got a question and someone asked. I had it on like 2 or 3 different occasions, but someone asked as far as, could the Sony ZV1 be like your dedicated main camera for like a small office or a small studio or whatever the case. And honestly, if you guys remember correctly, or go back on the channel a long time ago, the ZV1, which is what I'm currently shooting on right now, was my main camera for a while after I moved away from shooting with the iPhone as my main camera. But the current camera that I typically shoot all my videos with is this one right here, the Canon 90D with the Sigma 18-35. This is what I typically use. But today, I thought I'd go ahead and show you guys what the Sony ZV1 looks like in like an office setting, and give you guys, my settings and all of that good stuff as well. Another thing too is that since I've been shooting with my Canon 90D, I've never got an opportunity to shoot with the ZV1 with my new somewhat desk and setup and all of that stuff, because when I was shooting with the ZV1 back then, this wall was an agreeable gray, so it was a little bit brighter in here, but now it's a little darker in here because of the paint and all of that good stuff. But anyway, just to answer that question and not to make this video too long, we are currently shooting on the Sony ZV1. The microphone that I'm using is the Tank 3, and you guys know that I'm a huge fan of the Zv-1 because I can run all my audio directly into camera without having to sync it up in post, and that's what we're doing right now. So the ZV1 and the Zv-1 is hooked up. The XLR Tank 3 is going straight into the camera. So this audio that you're getting is straight into the camera. And if you are somebody out there that's planning on using the ZV1 in an office or a studio type of situation, and you want this to be your main camera for talking headshots, just understand that if you're going to use any type of external microphone, make sure you adjust the audio inside the Sony ZV1. All right, so I have my ZV1 set to a level 10, and I have this microphone turned up. The Zv-1 don't really show you like as far as percent wise, but I'm gonna say I have it turned up to about 75 or maybe 80%. I'm just gonna guess that, but I do know for a fact that the ZV1, the audio level is set to 10. All right, so just make sure you dial your settings in. You might have to adjust it a few times in the ZV1, go up and down until you find what you like, turn your mic up and stuff like that until you find a good spot that you like, and then you just kind of leave it there. Right now, I'm shooting in 24 frames per second because that's what I like to shoot in. I sometimes shoot in 60 and 30. It just depends. 1080 60 and sometimes 4K 30, but it really just depends on how I feel that day. But right now I'm shooting in 24 frames per second. I'm at 1/50. I'm at f1.8. All right, my ISO is at 400 right now, and the picture profile that I'm currently using right now is none. No picture profile. I know back in the day when I first started shooting with the ZV1, I was shooting in HLG2, and then I was doing a lot of color grading and stuff like that. But since I've been shooting with my Canon 90D and I've came back to the ZV1, I've been using the ZV1 in just like standard, like automatic, and it's been holding up and working really, really well. So, if you got a Sony ZV1, you really don't have to do too much with it in regards to picture profiles and diving out deep and stuff like that. You really could just take it out of the box, make a few adjustments and then just call it a day. But I do like to shoot in manual. Not everything is always auto every time, but for this demonstration right here, the only thing that I did is actually lock in my ISO at 400 because I just like the way it looks. You know what I'm saying? To be honest with you, looking on the monitor, it looks pretty nice. So I locked it in at 400. I think when I had it on auto, I think it locked me in at about 320, but I went up to 400. All right. So this is what it really looks like, man, in the office type of setting. So if you're somebody that's trying to get ready to get a ZV1, or you're about to get a ZV1 and you want to know what this looks like, this is a good example. Another thing I want to throw out there too is that if you do shoot in like a standard profile, or you don't pick a profile or anything like that, what I did do on the back end of this footage is I did go and adjust the contrast and the saturation just a little bit. All right. I was going to go into my LumaFusion and show you guys those settings, but I've done a video like that before with the Sony ZV1 showing all of my settings with like HLG2 and all of that stuff. So I didn't want to make this video be redundant, based off of that old video. Even though I know we're in 2024 now, and that video was a while ago, I just really didn't feel like diving that deep. But I just wanted to let you know that on the back end, even though I don't have a picture profile set, I am still adjusting the contrast and the saturation, and I think the vibrance and LumaFusion. It's like vibrance, saturation, and contrast. Those are like the ones I'm mainly adjusting, and I'm just kind of sliding them until I kind of like it, and then I'm just leaving it there. But this is what it looks like. You can run the Sony ZV-1 as a main camera, and I did it for well over a year and some change until I got my Canon 90D. I ran this ZV-1 just like this for a long time. My office setting did look a little different back then. I'm still running the same exact lights that I was running back then. Nothing else has changed since that time frame. But again, I just wanted to answer that question for a few individuals that asked me about the Sony ZV-1 and being able to use it in a talking head scenario and kind of letting it be your main camera. You know, this is what you can expect, man. And you can even get this to look even better if you want to play with some of the picture profiles and dial in your settings a little bit more. For me, with the Sony ZV-1, because I have the Canon 90D, I realized that the Sony ZV-1 is more of a camera that you just pick up and press record and you just go with the flow. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to really dive too deep. You can't change the lenses and stuff like that. So you don't really have to dive too deep. I feel like the camera just does a lot of the stuff for you, and you could call it a day. And again, you can even shoot at f1.8 on the ZV-1, so that's amazing right there in itself. You know what I'm saying? So hopefully this video has been helpful to anybody out there that's looking at getting the ZV-1, because I still feel like you can get the ZV-1 in 2024 and rock out. But then hopefully this is a good example. So, you know, if you're about to click the button and you wanted to know what this would look like, and if you could maintain, you know, for the next year or two with a ZV-1 as like your talking head camera type deal in an office studio / setup, hopefully this video helped you make that decision today. All right, so again, quick video. I'm gonna jump up out of here. It's been your man Jay. Catch y'all in the next one. Peace.